Back to the phones we go. Good morning, Bob Sokoler, Louisville Real Estate Show, News Radio 840 WHAS. Hello.
Hi, Bob. This is Rita.
Hi, Rita.
My husband and I, Joe, are thinking about selling our house down the road. I don't want to pay closing costs. Is there any way to prevent that from happening?
Well, let's start with Greg, because he's written a lot of offers, and when your buyer doesn't want to pay closing costs or the seller doesn't want to pay closing costs, what do you do?
Well, you can write it in and negotiate it, just like everything else. You can put it in other provisions. We can ask for it from the seller. It just depends on the unique financial situations of both. But then obviously we would bring in our lender, who would give us the best case scenario, depending on financing, what type of loan it is, and those things, any stipulations that you may have for concessions after the deal.
Randy?
Yes, so you can do seller contributions, and also in that scenario, you can have a little higher rate, which will give you a credit for your title insurance. And we don't have any lender fees or underwriting fees, so ours is all title, which is lead world. So yes, that would be the way to handle that. It's very easy to do a no closing cost loan. So that's what you want.
All right, so let me just give you kind of another little guideline for folks who are listening to us right now. So let's just say you're a buyer and you don't have enough money to put both the down payment down, which is typically 3 to 5%, and also the closing costs that it will involve, the upfront taxes, insurance, a variety of other things that come into play. So you can ask the seller to pay for it. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Now, here's the thing for the sellers. Let's say you got a $200,000 home. You get that you got on the market for $200,000. You get an offer of $195,000, and you say that's fine. I'll take $195,000. But then the buyer's also asking for say $3,000 in closing costs and prepaids, right? I mean, so far so good.
Mm-hmm. With you.
But you don't want to pay the buyer's closing costs and prepaids.
Sure.
And you say, look, I'll take the $195,000, but I do not want to pay that $3,000. And this happens to me all the time.
Sure.
So then I say, and this is really tricky. You say, okay, look. So you go back at $198,000. It rolls the $3,000 into the closing costs and prepaids into the loan, and you simply say, "We'll pay the closing costs, prepaids. We'll take $198,000, and you are sailing on to your next house or location." And what the buyer doesn't really know all the time is that it's being rolled into his loan, and the buyer doesn't really care because he's getting the job done. The only time it becomes a problem is if there's an appraisal, right?
Yep.
And that appraisal says it's only worth $195,000 or $196,000 or $197,000 or short of $198,000. Then we have a problem.
But we have ways to handle that as well. We can make sure that you guarantee if you can have cash out of pocket, they'll pay for the appraisal. But then you're getting back into the issue of they don't have
the difference on the appraisal. Yeah. So we train, what Greg's getting into, we train every week on different ways to help our buyers get the homes that they want. So we have a couple of techniques that we use to help ensure that our buyers get homes. Does it work?
Yes. Well, in this market with inventory the way it is, you need to have those techniques. And we discuss all the time different ways where we win multiple bid, 5, 6, 7 contract situations where just a little tweak
can help.
Can get you that off.
That's right. Want to see what our sellers are saying about us? Head to LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. If you want to hear what buyers are saying about us, go to Louisville'sBuyersTalk.com.